Who's going to be in league play? We're going to find out one more team after this next match. It's Take 3 versus Heroes of Tomorrow. We're going to throw to our Heroes of Tomorrow. Leaf and Lawler, take it away, guys.
I wouldn't give us that much credit, to be honest.
Why tomorrow? Like,
he's got today.
oh, okay.
We have Take 3 and Heroes of Tomorrow. Heroes of Tomorrow, they just talked about them. This is a fun little cool thing. When I was just started streaming, I still have basically the same amount of people watching, but the Alan Dodger was actually one of the first guys in there, just watching all the time. I was playing everything, and he was still there all the time. So I got to give shout-outs to those guys, but they're right. These guys have been together for a long time. Those two, Alex Storm and Alan Dodger, have been a duo for a long time, and I love these duos, these little love stories, you know, going on in a bunch of different teams. We've had a bunch of teams that had those duos, and I'm excited to see these guys here at this point right now. I talked to RVP actually recently during that LAN, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't on the main roster, and it was Speedy instead, but I'm not sure if they switched that out.
We'll find out soon enough. I know they have the benefit of not having an overbearing father on their side. No offense to James. Support is great, but sometimes you just got to let your kids take flight, you know? You just got to let them be.
But again, I love to see these guys. It looks like RVP actually is in our lobby. I'm so excited to see. I love that I can finally cast these guys. Again, they said these guys have been right there, and the fact they're at this far means they deserve to be at this point. But Take 3 is warmed up now.
There's a lot of monumental names on that team.
They've already been on the stream at this point. They have experience, and this isn't going to be the easiest of battles for HOT.
No, not at all, but let's get into it.
Well, we have Take 3 and Hat down on the field. In game number 1 on our lower brackets, one of these teams, we have to say, don't get a second chance. One of these teams is Dunzo for the RLCS after this. One of these teams is qualifying for NA League play, that 5th slot.
True do-or-die moment here.
Exactly. Right into game number 1. We'll see what both these teams can pull out. Is HOT going to be able to stand up to Take 3? Give them their energy. They all need it. We have HOT running down the field. Alec by himself. Alan right behind him. It's going to go off the backboard. A chance for them to score, but Vince will interrupt that one. RVP will have to put that right back in. As Vince falls it up, a rocket of a shot to start things off. Saw from a mile away, and I'm like, please do it.
Yeah, as soon as you see Espeon, he plays that perfectly inside for Vince, and then Vince just has to make the determination of, do I go for it or do I let it go off the backboard? Goes up for it, makes a good placement, and I just don't think that defender was ready for that angle.
It's hard. That was a tough angle. That was right from the ceiling. Dropping that one down like a hot new single, puts that one in. First goal in for Take 3, and they're trying to get another one here as they put Heroes on their back heel. Another chance for Espeon to get a pass. That's a rough spot. Vince has another open net. Alec probably not expecting that miss from his teammate.
Yeah, unfortunate for RVP, trying to come off the wall. Unfortunately, instead of going up, he goes forward and pops above, but then another mistake on defense, and you see Vince just waiting for it.
Yeah, it's so rough. You want to take your time with that, and this is what you start seeing teams, especially European teams, doing, is they're waiting for you to make those touches, and then they're just going, and that's what G2 is doing exactly.
Right.
That kind of play style. And right now, Take 3 is likely to pull that ahead on HOT, and that's what we just saw there. Alec, unfortunate touch, but back on defense, he does get a stop there to redeem himself. Espeon up with the pressure, a follow-up from Zane Jackie, or not. I don't need you, he says.
I think he heard James. He just needed that boost, so maybe not overbearing. It worked out. That shot was nuts.
Truly, the evolved form. Throws another touch in himself. What an incredible second touch.
Well, the benefit of those second touches too, like even if he doesn't make that shot, it's drawn out a defender, and someone on his team is going to be waiting.
Vince himself up, gets a little bit of an airdrome with second touch.
Great passing, I guess.
Not really going anywhere, but it looked cool. RVP off the wall with no boost. We'll leave that for Alec. Espeon, of course, going to keep the pressure on. Zane passes it back to Espeon. He backs up, though. Respect to Allen. There's Vince instead for the 50-50. Allen forward for a demo, likely himself, as he leaves RVP by himself back there with Alec. Zane Jackie up, a touch forward, soft enough. Allen can get in the way. A good read of touch shot from Espeon. Vince gets thrown out of the party. Alex will be able to put that one forward. RVP off target. I don't know what he was trying to set up there, but it doesn't work either way. Vince with control. A 3-on-1 situation. Scary spot now for Take 3 as this drops to the far side. no scoring opportunity for Take 3.
Yeah, unfortunate for this RVP and the rest of this gang on HOT. A lot of this pressure just one after another. They're fighting for their lives right now, and it just seems to be that waiting really paying off. Like every time they clear the ball out or something's happening, there is someone on this team for Take 3 just waiting to put it right back in. And the difficulty is it's a matter of maintaining possession. Right now they're playing more of a panic mode than kind of composed and passing to each other.
You did it again. I told you.
Yeah.
Composure.
I'm glad you noticed.
RVP, last defender back. Carries it himself off the wall, but can't get it past Zane Jackie. So Allen and Alec right back in net. Not able to clear that at all. Vince is just getting in the way with that Octane. Up to Zane would have been a nice little touch. I think both RVP and Allen were ready for that one. They really need to respect, I think, Take 3 right now, and they're expecting to be able to break out of their own end a little bit sooner than Take 3 is allowing them to do. And that's why they find themselves in these weird spots underneath the ball. 3 goals down with 1:35 left. They have to get something started up here. They do have a few more games to do it, but being down is obviously not a fun situation. A midfield control coming out strong from Take 3 as they don't allow any kind of advances from Heroes of Tomorrow.
Well, HOT did a much better job in the past couple seconds there, actually putting some pressure on offense. A couple shots here and there, but as soon as they break out, like this Take 3 team wastes no time in counterattacking.
Vince pop up, maybe a little bit too high. Both Zane and him are like, oh, whoops. Look at Vince just waiting patiently for that touchdown. Almost was able to capitalize, but a little bit too far out of his reach. With a minute left, they don't really have to worry that much about the pressure. Just make sure someone's in there, do what G2 did, and throw one person in at a time. Maintain that lead.
Well, if they're going to keep putting shots like that on net, it's going to make it very difficult for Heroes of Tomorrow. But now is when Heroes of Tomorrow needs to start looking towards the next match. I mean, even though it is possible, it's just the pressure so far hasn't worked out. So what is it that's causing it to be difficult? Plays like that will really help. RVP coming across and getting that demo, it breaks down that rotation. It allows them to basically breathe for a little bit. The players can get some boost, they can move around, and then set up for another play. But the issue is when that stuff does happen, they're not really capitalizing on it.
Shot from Vince, probably could have been saved there, but Alec goes flying by, and that is a 4-0 lead now with 26 seconds. I am dyslexic with vocal right now.
Well, a lot of it has to do, like you saw Vince trying to go for that double touch, I'm pretty sure it was Vince, and it actually drew RVP up. Like RVP went up to try to block that pass, and unfortunately for him, it drew him out, and then the easy shot coming back inside. Like Take 3 just doing a good job of spreading out, making sure that they control everywhere on the field, and every time they don't, like they just stay patient enough to break out of their side and bring it back down. But a shot on net again for Take 3, just trying to add insult to injury at this point.
Well, with 10 seconds left, this game is over, and Take 3 will be taking the first point in the best of 5 against Heroes of Tomorrow. We'll see if they can, HOT can pull it back at the second one, but again, I mentioned it midway through the series, I think the biggest struggle for them at this point is the fact that they're expecting to be able to break out. Maybe throughout the rest of this bracket it was a little bit easier for them. Obviously not easy, but not as tough as Take 3, of course. And I think they're expecting, have those passing plays, and they're being caught off guard. They're just hitting the ball downfield and expecting to be able to follow it. But of course they're not. We have Take 3 waiting for those hits. You have to understand that they're going to be ahead. They're going to expect your touches and slow the pace down. Right now they're slamming into the ball and not really thinking about where it's going to go after that.
Well, a lot of the times when you compare like teams that have always, like James said, just been right at the brink that haven't quite made it into that top 8 but are right in that area like Heroes of Tomorrow, and compared to teams like Take 3 that have always kind of been in there with these players, is the big difference is the players on Heroes Tomorrow usually try to play and match the pace of the top 8 teams. While the top 8 teams are always playing at that. They're so used to just moving around at that field. And the issue is you have to basically excel at something that they do better than them. And that's difficult when you've never played at that pace.
Well, I've seen teams be able to keep up a little bit at the beginning of a series, but by the end of it, you start to see a steamroll, and that as that rock starts falling down that mountain quicker and quicker, it just picks up speed, and you start to realize that, okay, we can't keep up this pace.
Well, I mean, I expect to see this game 2 as more of like a wake-up call. Like, these guys are going to be like, okay, these guys really do play fast. We either have to match it or we're going to get ran over. And I think it's going to be more of that like self-awareness coming into play.
Well, we'll see if that awareness can be enough to keep them in this series, or if Take 3 is going to be able to take another point off of them. They're already up 1, trying to find themselves a spot in League Play North America for the RLCS Season 3. Heroes of Tomorrow down 1 point, 2 more, and they will be knocked out of the tournament entirely. As dominating first game, came out for take 3. They're trying to get this started off. Already Espeon with the solo play. Zane Jack up to Vince as Espeon rotates back. A second drop down. Vince always getting some of the nicest touches. Fortunately, it was a little bit too far. Espeon out of reach of that one. Zane Jack, he blocks off that advance from Alec there. Or Elaine, the last one back. Slow pay. RVP tries to get in the way. A little bit weird situation, but it ends up working out for HOT as they put one on target. Vince almost throwing it into his own top corner. Manages to roll the momentum down the other way.
Well, you're starting to see that aggression come out. Even so, they're spreading the field really well. That's actually going to bounce in. But what a save by Espeon. Still in a dangerous spot.
We still have RVP up there. Allen trying to go up and get the touch. Could have been a scary spot if that clear came out hard. Nice mini passing plays there, but that's going to be no one in net. Zane Jackie coming from the far side as both his other teammates were pushed up too far.
Thinking a lot less, and that sounds really weird to say, but Heroes of Tomorrow are just playing reactionary game. They're playing really, really fast and then just making plays. And because of that, this confident team in take 3 are just able to kind of do as they wish, and then they take it for granted almost. And that easy clear, like, there should be someone back. That stuff should not happen to these top 8 teams.
You're right, and I think you speak directly to the confidence of the players. They're confident they can take this win. They're confident that those plays started up, but they leave their defense open. Maybe it won't be a problem, but if they can continue to get long clears like that for HOT, you're going to see them be able to grab a couple goals, and that's not where you want to be as take 3. But first one going in the first minute and a half of gameplay, it's got to feel good for Heroes of Tomorrow. They didn't get a single one in that last game. Knowing that they can find the back of the net will help their confidence for sure.
I mean, it's the first part of the battle is knowing that you can do it, and then actually doing it. Like,
yeah,
like.
Well, they got the second part of the battle, and they put one in the net. 3 minutes left. Take 3 trying to answer that goal. Touch out by Alec. Way too hard, though. Allen's not going to be able to pull that one off. Hard clear from RVP. Almost a scary spot, though. Vince was patiently waiting for that. Zane trying to get a nice backside touch. Flies past it instead. Zane being a little bit quiet in this series so far. It's been a lot of Espeon and Vince up on the offense. Zane pulling in that defense. There is a hole in the net. Zane Jackie finds it. Yeah.
Called you out. A lot of it had to do at the beginning of the series. Zane was going for actually a lot of demos. He was making his presence known in that sense. But even that, just a quick little touch back inside. The placement really well, bottom left. Zane has always been one that's been a little bit more consistent on the side, but he's been struggling a little bit today. Glad to see him come back in.
All tied up. We have 2.5 minutes left. This could be the turnaround for take 3. We'll see if Heroes of Tomorrow can keep the pace up. Can't make defensive mistakes like they just did. 2 people in net. You shouldn't be letting the ball go in. Alec up trying to get in the way of Zane. Zane wins a 50-50, goes for the demo as you were calling out. Vince couldn't finish it off. Alec did get out of net in time. Allen needs a hard clear. Almost feeds it to Espeon instead. And just the speed right now coming out from take 3.
Yeah, a lot of it has to do, and we talked about camera angles earlier too. Like, Elaine Dodger's like eating his car. He was following so close. And although it does help with that angle for dribbles a little bit more, I do not like it. Why are you so close to your car?
Not gonna lie, I did that for a bit too, and then I realized, nope.
I mean, if it works for him, right? Like, he's in a position that you and I never could be.
There was some good passing plays coming out there. Unfortunately for them, there was someone in net like they should be. And they get it stopped from HOT putting another one in. RVP loses that 50-50 to Vince. Vince now has control, one-on-one situation. Plays it slow. Almost rolls it past. Octane beating out that dominus, or the breakout, sorry. Vince off the backboard, Espeon already up. Scary spot as the defenders of HOT, because you know he can put that wherever he wants, and he puts it in the perfect spot.
When Espeon's feeling confident, some of the best plays in the air, that pass being set up by his teammate, and then the placement, like you said, using that air roll to make sure the nose of the car hits it, and plays that back to the side. Good placement by Espeon, and with power.
2-1 lead now, not very far ahead on the scoreboard, but take 3 is in the lead by almost more. Soft touch there, almost extended it by 2 goals. Fortunately, they couldn't get that one off the kickoff. But fortunately for HOT, it means they're only 1 goal behind right now. With the final minute approaching, you don't generally want to be more than 1 down at that point, as you have to start putting everything, committing it all to offense. Espeon, nice little touch there. Smart plays from him. Good back pass. Allen back up to RVP, who's in the air. Puts it on target, just a little bit wide. Right idea, though, from those guys.
It's like he wanted a mixture of a pass and a shot. He's like, I want to shoot it, but I see you. So let's do a bit of both.
Fortunately, it didn't work out either way. neither a shot nor a pass, and Zane Jackie was able to continue that, moving to the side here. 39 seconds left. HOT starting to put the offense on. Here's the pressure they're looking for. Intercepted passing play. Zane Jackie waiting patiently back in net. Still a bad spot. RVP has to put it in the right spot. He does. And they tie it up with 30 seconds left. HOT still in this game.
That decision making from RVP is so crucial. From 3/4 of the field, he saw that. And as soon as he was like, okay, I could make this, he's like, no, I have to go for it. I have to trust my teammates are going to go back. And that's what allowed that goal to happen.
You're right. It's the confidence in your teammates that allows you to have speed. And that's what they did there. We'll see if Take 3 can put another one in and destroy the dreams here as Vince gets control to Espion. Good intercept by Allen as he moves that forward. RVP couldn't intercept that one. Vince to Zane, to Espion, the bounce shot. Alec has to save this. Crucially, don't make a mistake there. RVP trying to move this one forward. He's got Allen behind him. They can still do this. The roof touch sets it down too low. And now possession is over to Vince and Espion. You know these guys can do it.
Oh, no.
And they do it. With 0 seconds left, they steal away the dreams of HOT.
Oh, you weren't kidding about stealing away the dreams. And part of that has to do, like, you battle back, you're able to match it, like I said. A lot of it was about waking up, and they hold off, and then...
Wake me up inside.
God. I don't even want... Can I leave now after that? Like... But for them to put in all that and then have it still not pan off, that's where it makes the good teams great. You even see James over there shaking his hands because in excitement. But
I see him up in the stadium cheering for his little boy.
He's so cute. Like, he's so
Espion
proud
grabbing both the goals on that one though, and again it was from great placement. I mean, they had a 0-second goal at the end to win that one.
Right.
And it was because of his placement on that. He was able to put it at the far side. He saw it. I think it was Alec that was still in net. Wasn't going to be able to get to that. He was too far up, facing the wrong way. Before that, there was someone in net, but he actually got under it, air rolled it back to the far side. Placement shots are just insane from Espion. He knows how to control that ball.
Well, a lot of it is, it's crazy how like so many like minor things cause like chain reactions. Like RVP was up for that aerial and it hit off the ceiling and allowed Vince to actually get underneath and pop it up rather than playing it off the backboard and in. Like it was a much easier touch for Vince to play that downfield to Espion. And it's like, if he would have touched that just a little bit different, we may have a different story. But it's like, those are the things that these guys may think about that they can't. They can't let that stuff get to them mentally because it's just going to plague them for this next game.
But let's give credit to HOT, though, bringing that one
I told you.
down to 0 seconds. Very, very close. They seem to have been able to figure out what they needed to do. Is it going to be enough?
I mean, we saw that they brought it down to 0 seconds last game. Why can't they do it again? Like I said, as long as they stay out of their heads and say, we were this close, why can't we do it again? They should be all right.
We'll see if Take 3 is going to be able to take 3 as they are up 2 points already in the series. It actually wasn't even intentional.
Still upset with you.
RVP will roll this one down the field, but a hand over to Vince as he chips that one back down into HOT's end. RVP, a nice pass up to Allen. That's what I like to see as they cross that one to the net. Vince forced to make a save, and a demo from Allen as he makes his way up, but a miss from RVP puts him in a weird offensive rotation. Possession will be able to go back over into the hands of Take 3, but Zane with a miss. Now taking that one back. Good counterattack opportunity for Alec. And HOT, no, a bit of a weak shot. He tries to find the top corner. Maybe a rocket should have been better, but hard to figure out in that situation. There's a chance back to Espion.
No way.
So close to popping that one down into the net himself. Maybe hoping for a pass. Zane couldn't get there in time. Still 0-0, scoreless in the first minute of gameplay. This is do or die. HOT has to win this, but Espion isn't going to make it easy.
No, just like you said, HOT trying to stay alive. If they don't win this match, they are out. They're fighting for our first lower bracket qualifier of the day. And Take 3 not making it easy on them. Just two people getting kind of caught up each other.
The half flip into the hug.
Half flip hug. Is that like a half? Is that like a half hug or is it?
No, that was a full hug.
Oh,
it was definitely a half flip.
Okay.
Vince will try to get
Hugs
play started.
Hugs aren't how you score goals, apparently.
Hug boys. We the hug boys. RVP off the backboard pass. Could be a chance. Zane Jackie forced up really quick. Good awareness from him, knowing his teammates couldn't save that themselves. Got up. It's only 1 goal lead as HOT finds themselves back down onto offense. RVP needed to maybe be up for that one. They're allowing this ball to go back down to their own end quickly, and Vince, another incredible shot from him.
Well, now Vince showing a lot of expertise in this as well. Like a lot of players, when they're trying to read those backwards, those double touches, the issue is, and for a lot of people that are getting new to it, is they don't give themselves enough time in the air to react to it. And what Vince basically feathers his boost to make sure he maintains the same height as the ball, which then allows when the ball comes towards him to use the rest of his boost to come through. Feathering boost and making sure to like utilize it is something that is not easily done.
2 goals up now with 3 minutes left. Take 3 looking to just win this series all out. In a 3-0, but HOT not ready to give up. They are starting to pull off some great plays, just not able to put them into the net yet. The defense is too strong from Take 3. And the transitions
Not
back
again,
to
Vince.
offense
Not again,
very
Vince.
quick.
Not again.
Vince! Alec, if you know he's going to do it, you got to get up quicker. Vince!
As soon as I see him hit it again, I'm like, uh-oh. Oh no, it's happening again. But, I mean, Alec did go up for it. He just went straight up rather than towards the ball. It's very difficult. The worst spot to be on defense is when that ball is right above you. And at least he tried, I guess. Like, he got up for it.
Well, either you go up quick, or if you know the shot's going to come, you just stay and wait for it. Those are your 2 options. Getting up there before it even hits the backboard, obviously the best option. But you got to get in the way. You can't just fly by it. 3-0. Lead now for Take 3 as Vince is popping off at this point. Nice touch from Espion to Zane. Great passing play from them there.
They're getting aggressive. That's one way to do it.
You have to. So think about this. We have 2.5 minutes left. They're down 3 goals. They have to make something happen. Otherwise, they are out of the RLCS tournament, and that will be it. Take 3 looking to make a dominating approach into their league play spot. They've already said our names are on it. They're looking to claim it here against HOT. Potentially the last one for HOT until the next season, but Vince is making sure their names are already written.
Well, you see Espion and Vince working really well together. Vince plays it really slow, and Espion actually trying to go for a back flick, and it actually drew out RVP. RVP expected that to pop, and he was going to go for a quick aerial on it, but because Espion missed it, RVP was slightly to the right, and it gave a lot of placement for Espion to work with.
And we have it 4 goals up with 2 minutes left.
Or
The
Vince,
steamroll continue to move down. Nice shot from Vince, off target, but good attempt there. Allen once again giving away possession too quickly. They need to think of what they're doing. Sometimes slower is faster if it allows you to move on to offense. With minute 50 left, they do not have a lot of time left to get 4 goals back. Just Take 3 looking comfortable on the field right now.
Well, Vince looking really comfortable too with that hat trick. Like, he's been all over the field, and a lot of it is actually individual plays, but here comes another opportunity. But good hustle from that back line, something that they've been needing to do this entire game. But Elaine Dodger trying to do whatever he can, like even waiting up on that aerial on that back ball is going to make it a lot harder for Take 3 to get these shots in.
Flick from Alec over top of Vince, a follow-up. Corner pass, not past Zane Jackie though. Allen needs to be on that a little bit quicker while they get the play started up. RVP is bustling in the net there, trying to mess up Espion. Goes back down the other way. Vince, look at how fast these counterattacks come out, especially when you have Vince leading the charge.
Well, it's so difficult because of the way that these guys place the shot. Even stuff like that, like, it's difficult because obviously these guys are sending all their players up because they need to make goals. But the difficulty is one little touch like that. Like, that's another 5 seconds off the clock, and nobody's there to hit it immediately. Like, RVP is getting it off the wall, but someone needs to be there as soon as it gets hit.
Well, with 42 seconds left.
Oh, what a pass.
I'm wondering if we're going to see the end of the dreams right now for Heroes of Tomorrow. As Take 3 dominating, especially with Vince just controlling the situation here. He's killing the clock.
Yeah, like complete time management. And a lot of people is like, oh, that's so cocky and stuff. It's actually really smart for him to give him the space up in the air to just drift around and like move around and hit the ball around. Like, as a player on defense, if you go up, like, that's so much boost that's going to be wasted if you don't hit it. So they just have to wait for it.
With 8 seconds left, we're confidently going to call Take 3 taking this one in a 3-0 now against Heroes of Tomorrow, finding themselves their spot then into the NA North American League play for the RLCS Season 3. Congrats to Take 3, but shoutouts once again to HOT, put up a fight. Game 2 looking much better for them.
Yep, very consistent play in Game 1 and Game 2 for Take 3. I think that second game they let off the gas a little bit because they were overconfident. And after that close match, they're like, yeah, we're not going to risk this, and really, really went lights out.
Well, again, Vince just went off at the end of it, too, though.
Yeah.
I like how many highlight reels are going to be just him?
It's just me saying, not again, man, please, and then he does it.
Don't do it, please. But he does. Vince, again, incredible play from him, incredible all around. I mean, we saw a lot of offensive and the fact that you can have just Espion and Vince mostly up on offense the entire time and dominate like that in that sort of fashion, that's an incredible show of the skill of Take 3.
It makes what that team is so strong. Like I mentioned it earlier, like back when they had Insol, like Insol was kind of that support player, very similar almost to Zane Jackie in a sense. And the issue is like if Espion wasn't popping off, the team just didn't really mesh. And now that you see Vince coming in, that's another person up in the air that can help out with Zane God, I can't even say it, with Vince and Espion on offense. It just adds so much power to that team's dynamic.
One more congrats out to Take 3, putting it in, showing that they deserved it. And goodbye, unfortunately, to HOT, but well played. Back to the desk.
Thank you, Leaf and Lawler, and congrats to Take 3. Your next team advancing on to season play. I'm going to go straight to...
Oh, my goodness. I'm
going straight to James.
Now.
James,
so happy
talk
right
to us,
now.
James.
Vince is a monster. He is a monster. 2 hat tricks. He's a monster. Thank you, Vince. Espion, I'm proud of you as well. Zane, Jackie, thanks for being along for the ride, buddy. Take 3s in league play.
Are you just going to switch to Vince now from Espion? Are you just going to betray him?
No, Vince helped Espion into league play.
He's like your son's best friend.
And I've been a fan for Vince, too.
You actually are.
Yes,
You've been a big advocate of Vince for quite some time.
I love this team. I am so happy. Congratulations for Hot for making it this far. That's a big making top 16's impressive, but Take 3 did it. I'm so happy.
And I really like seeing. I mean, here's a tomorrow. I mentioned it right before we started. One of the longest standing pair. I mean, Elaine Dodger and Alex Storm. I remember playing against those guys. Like one of my first ESL tournaments that I ever played in. They were. I lost to them. Yeah. They actually destroyed me. So it's one of those situations to see them still playing and get closer and closer every season. It's so cool.
And you know, thankfully there will be a season 4, but season 3, it's about Take 3. They really popped off this game. Espion and Vince together working like a pair from heaven. That 0-second goal from Espion, just stellar. But we saw multiple double tap goals. And I think one was a triple tap. Here's one of the double taps from Vince. It was so much filth that I had to wash my hands and clean my eyeballs with drops. Wow.
I mean, these just went unanswered. You have to come up for that. You don't see that very often. And that just was maybe here's to tomorrow being caught off guard by the pace of Take 3 potentially. I don't know what it would have been.
They were just a better team, all around better team. Vince especially, he just started playing out of his mind. And when Espion started to get comfortable, you could see they were just clicking. And once they started putting that pedal to the metal, it was over.
I mean, they
closed.
They put on twice as many shots on goal, 24 shots on goal to 12.
Wow.
I mean, to double it up, and Heroes of Tomorrow only put 2 of those in, while Take 3 put 11 goals in during those 3 goals.
And some of them were just
games.
nasty, especially the bench.
Nasty.
I think it's a great squad there from Take 3. Remember, they fell to Genesis earlier today, so it could have easily been a situation where they got a little bit rattled and then we didn't know how they were going to do, but ultimately, taking out Heroes of Tomorrow, you're going to see Take 3 in the next season of the Rocket League Championship Series, starting next week. So it's very exciting stuff. But coming up next, we have Atelier coming back.
Atelier. That's not your fault for saying it.
Sorry, Atelier. We'll have to check the Webster Dictionary. Atelier is playing against Freestylers in Disguise.
Karma's team.
I hear you're a freestyler in disguise.
No, I can't actually freestyle.
He's just in the public. Wow. That's out there. Public knowledge.
Shots fired.
Look out for that. But what do you guys say we take a little break here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a little break from the RLCS Qualifiers for North America. Coming up next is Atelier, we'll get it right, versus Freestylers in Disguise. Don't go anywhere.